Hey everyone, got a new guitar here to show you today. This is a Squier Affinity Tele Deluxe. Around the middle of 2021, Fender updated the Squier Affinity line of guitars, added some upgrades to some of their models. The Strats now have flame tops and 2-point trims. The Teles now have belly cuts and string through bodies. They also added some models that weren't previously available in the Affinity line, this being one of them, the Tele Deluxe. Go over some of the specs. It's got a poplar body. It is a string through body with a belly cut. The neck is a maple neck with a satin finish. And then there's also a walnut skunk stripe for the truss rod. It's got an Indian laurel fretboard, 21 medium jumbo frets. It's got pearloid dot inlays. The nut, according to the Fender website, is synthetic bone, which in my experience that just means it's plastic. And then you have 6 inline tuners. They are the vintage split shaft style. And then one of the other upgrades, as you can see, is the on the face of the headstock, it is a gloss finish now. This particular finish is burgundy mist. There are 2 other finishes available according to the Fender website. One's a charcoal, metallic charcoal finish. I think they call it like charcoal frost or something like that. And then another one's an all black, black pickguard, black finish. And then that one actually has a maple fretboard. If you notice on the control layout, it is somewhat less polished. That's because when Fender came out with the Tele Deluxe, it was to compete with the Les Paul. So you have your 2 volume 2 tone. These are witch hat knobs, or as Fender likes to call them, skirted amp knobs. I've always called them witch hat knobs. You do have a 3-ply pick guard. You have your 2 covered humbuckers, and then you have your 3-way toggle switch for your pickup selector on the upper bout. These models usually run about around $300. I think there is a surplus of them because they seem to be going on sale quite a bit. As of this recording, they're on sale on the Fender website, and I've seen them on for sale in some of the other retailers also. So anyways, why don't I go ahead and give you some close-ups of the guitar, go over what I found, and then I'll plug it in and give you some tones. Alright, so here is what the guitar looks like up close. The finish on this guitar is pretty good. I haven't found any flaws or dings in the finish. It does seems that they did do a pretty good job on the finish here. There's the 4 knobs, your 4 witch hat knobs, your dual volume and your dual tone. As you can see, it is a 3-ply pick guard. You have your dual humbuckers here and your 3-way toggle switch. Right out of the box, the toggle switch actually moves side to side, but I actually loosened the nut on here and rotated it so it goes up and down. That's just the way I prefer to do it. I mean, it doesn't matter either way. It's not going to affect anything. To me, it's just more intuitive if you go up and down. And then there's the bridge. It's a typical 6-saddle hardtail Fender style bridge. Nothing too fancy about it. One thing I ran into on this particular guitar, minor QC issue I ran into, was the low E string saddle. One of the screws, the adjusting screws, is cross-threaded, so I wasn't able to raise or lower it. To fix that, I'm going to have to replace the saddle. That's not a big deal. Saddles are pretty inexpensive, and it's pretty easy fix. But that is something that I ran into. I wouldn't let that scare you, though. That's the first time I've ever run into that right out of the box. Usually what happens is these screws will strip when somebody tries to adjust them under tension. So not a big deal. And if it's something, for me, if everybody's going to have their own preferences as far as what they'll tolerate and what they won't tolerate. For me, if it's something I can fix relatively easily, then I don't worry about it too much. And then so there's here's the back of the guitar here. Nothing too really fancy about that. It is a string through body, and it does have a belly cut. There's a look at the neck, on the back of the neck. It does appear that it is a quarter sawn neck on this particular guitar. I don't know if they're all like that, or if I just got lucky with that, but it does. This particular neck appears to be quarter sawn. And there's the tuners there. They are basically your standard Squier tuners. Nothing fancy about them, but they do the job pretty well. Haven't had any issues with them. They feel pretty good. There's a look at the headstock. And then your split shaft vintage style tuners. As you can see, the face of the headstock is glossed over. One thing about the Affinity headstock, typically a Tele Deluxe will have a Strat headstock, but this has your traditional Telecaster headstock. And then there's a look at the nut there. As the Fender website says, it is synthetic bone, which basically means it's plastic, but it seems to be cut pretty well. I haven't had any tuning stability issues with it. Seems to be cut all right. Haven't had any intonation issues near the nut, so the slots seem to be at the right depth. There's a look at the fretboard. I do like the fretboard. I think they did a pretty good job with the streakiness and the grain. So I think I got lucky with the piece of wood they used for that. And then there's the 21 medium jumbo frets with the pearlite dot inlays. So that's what the guitar looks like up close. And then why don't I go ahead and plug it in and give you some tones. All right, so yeah, I got it all plugged in and everything. So I'll go ahead and go through the tones. I'm playing for the tone demo. I'm just doing my usual Orange Crush 35 RT with my trusty Music Lily Vintage Overdrive for the crunch tones, and then for the high gain stuff, just basically using just going to be using the amp distortion for that. So here, why don't we go ahead and start with some tones here. Here's what the bridge pickup sounds like clean. And then here's the middle position here. And then here's the neck pickup. All right, and then so here's the crunch tones. Here's the bridge pickup with the crunch tones. And then here's the middle position here. And then here is here's the neck pickup. All right, and then for the distortion, here's basically what the bridge pickup sounds like with high gain. And then here's the middle position. And then here's the neck pickup with the gain. All right, so yeah, that was the Squier Affinity Tele Deluxe. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you have one of these, feel free to leave a comment about your experience, or any of the new Affinity line of guitars. Feel free to leave a comment about your experience. I really like this guitar. I think it's a good guitar. I actually do. I don't have any immediate plans to mod it, but I did buy this as a mod platform, so I probably will be modding it sometime in the future. So stay tuned for that. And then be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more.